You've probably heard that phrase before, right? Unified school district. Maybe you saw it on a local news report, or maybe even on your property tax bill. But what does that unified part actually mean? Well, today we're going to break that down, and we'll use a real-world example to make it all make sense.
It really all starts with a simple question. What's the invisible force holding all of a community's schools together? I mean, you've got the elementary schools, the middle schools, the high schools. What's the glue? The answer is kind of hiding in plain sight. It's the school district.
So before we can even get to the whole unified thing, we got to go back to basics. Let's start with the foundation. What exactly is a school district anyway?
Okay, so at its most basic level, a school district is a government entity. Its job is super specific, to provide public education to all the students within a certain area. You can think of it as the fundamental building block for our public schools, kind of like the blueprint for how education gets organized.
And it's just as important to know what it's not. A school district isn't the same as a county office of education, and it's definitely not a charter school. Nope, those are totally different animals with their own set of rules. Understanding that difference is really key here.
All right, so we've got the foundation down. Now let's add that one little word that changes everything: unified. This single word completely transforms how a student experiences their education, from day one all the way to graduation day.
And this slide just lays it all out so clearly. On one side, you've got fragmented districts. Just imagine, the elementary school system has its own rules and leadership. The middle school has a different set. And the high school? Yep, another one. It can get pretty choppy, right? But then you look at a unified district. We're talking about a single, seamless path. It's designed to be one continuous journey for a student, with no jarring disconnects between grades.
So how do they pull that off? Well, it really boils down to two main things. First, the grade span. A unified district covers the whole shebang, from the little kids in TK all the way through 12th grade. And second, and this is the real kicker, is the single governance. One superintendent and one board make all the big decisions for all the schools. So why is that such a big deal? It means the curriculum actually lines up from grade to grade, policies are consistent, and they can share resources way more effectively across the whole system.
Okay, so all this theory is great, but what does it look like in the real world? To really get a feel for this, we're going to look at a specific case study, the Barstow Unified School District. Now, like any public school district, Barstow Unified has a legal job to do. Its main responsibility is to provide an education in what's called the least restrictive environment. Now, that's a bit of a legal-sounding term, but what it really boils down to is that students with disabilities should be in class with their non-disabled friends as much as possible. It's really a foundational promise of public education.
But, it's not just about checking legal boxes. What's the real heartbeat of a district? It's their philosophy. It's what they truly believe. And that belief ends up shaping every single decision they make.
And for Barstow Unified, it all comes down to this one super powerful idea. You can forget the bureaucracy, forget the buildings, forget all the other stuff. The central interest, the only interest that truly matters, is the learner. That right there, that's their North Star.
And you can see how that main idea is held up by these core values. They believe learning is something you do, not just something you get. They understand that experiencing success, even the small wins, is what builds momentum for a student. But maybe most importantly, they believe quality education isn't just the school's job. They see it as a mission for the entire community. It's about building a whole support system, an ecosystem really, around every single kid.
So you've got the unified structure, you've got this awesome student-first philosophy. So how do you pull all that together into a mission that actually, works?
Well, it all starts with a very practical goal. Because think about it, before you can even get to the math and the history, you have to get the environment right. So the goal is to make every single school a place that is fair, that is equitable, that is safe, and most of all, an environment where learning can actually happen and flourish.
And boom, here it is. This is where everything we've talked about, the structure, the philosophy, the goal, it all comes together in this one mission statement. See, it's not just about good grades or test scores. It's about providing quality educational experiences that allow students to reach their full potential and then go on to make positive contributions to their community. That is the ultimate promise of a unified system.
So I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. When one single, cohesive mission follows a student from their very first day of kindergarten all the way to their last day of high school, how does that unified vision shape not just their school years, but their whole journey into becoming an adult? It's a pretty powerful concept, and that's the real magic behind that word, unified.